Good morning. Welcome, everybody. We are here to present to you what we truly believe is an unrivaling marketing campaign that GLS can truly adopt. My name is Betsy.
I'm Stephanie.
I'm Phil.
I'm Katia.
Caleb.
So the goals we have for GLS is to make the German Language Society an intellectual home to all Germans and German interest groups in the DMV area, to highlight the successes of past GLS events, programs, and lectures. We want to also meet the needs of current members and attract new members. We would also like to promote your presence on the internet, as well as by focusing on social media and other creative, new, innovative events. This is a logo that we created as an image to really put an image to for members and prospective members to associate with.
So in terms of our initial research, I wanted to go through the strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats that the German Language Society currently has. A large strength that it has is the core following right now. People that have been attending for many years. You have a strong reputation for event programming and the different speakers, the variety of speakers that you have that brings in different members. In terms of weaknesses, there is that lack of social media impact, that technology gap. You're not getting a lot of new members or reaching out to your new demographic because of the omnipresence of technology in this society and especially in the millennial age group. There's also not an integrative RSVP system, so it's very difficult for you to gauge how many people are going to come to your events and how to really measure what events are reaching out to certain people and which ones to keep doing, etc. And there's not a lot of variety, so in terms of the events that we saw, they're mainly speakers, and it's great that they come from different fields. There should be some other more fun events, etc. So in terms of opportunities, there's a huge college demographic in this area. There's a huge concentration of colleges in this DMV area, and so that's a market that we can tap into very easily with the use of that social media. The eagerness of German language students to assimilate into the culture. So I feel like when you come to college, you want to get to your roots and truly explore different aspects of that, even interest in the German language. And then the threats are, as the previous group stated, the popularity of the Goethe Institute, the German School of Washington, D.C., and the German Historical Institute. Many of their events are very popular in the area, such as film screening that they do, and other events like Oktoberfest, etc. So people already have that interest in the German culture, so it's going to be easy for the German Language Society to kind of integrate into that market once we get up to speed.
So in our marketing campaign, we decided to really split up this marketing campaign into 4 phases. This will ensure success and will provide you with a better tool to limit the margin of error and really gauge the audience, their interest, members' interest, and also track your success and progress so you can see what worked and didn't work and really gauge what you're going to do in the future. Based on previous successes, events that you've had. So I'm going to pass it on to Stephanie for phase 1.
Social media.
So in phase 1, we began with something simple like social media, and we felt like 2 platforms that are major components of today's very technologically built society are Facebook and Twitter. And we actually constructed both of these pages just kind of as a dummy platform just to show you how it would work out. For the Facebook page, we actually, I began to invite people who are my personal friends, and I found that a lot of people showed interest in the page, and we actually gained quite a few likes within a small period of time, which means that people who are not just German speakers or have a German background would easily be interested in the opportunities that GLS would be able to offer. And also it's a very easy way to spread the ideas of GLS, and you can share different opportunities or events that are coming up, and then everyone who has social ties to that person will be able to see, and if they have any interest, will be able to express that interest. And with the Twitter page, we have different hashtags, and we have the @GLSWashDC. And so anyone who has an interest is able to tweet at the German Language Society, follow the German Language Society, and keep up with any of the events that are coming up.
And then the last thing we did in terms of technology was create a web presence as well. I can briefly just show you what it looks like. This is something really easy to create that you can do yourself. So we thought as a beginning, as a homepage, someone should see the motto of GLS because we realized that it seems to have a lot of importance to the club. We also have the logo, then people can go and look at upcoming events. These pictures are just examples. We suggest putting pictures of that relate to the event that day, maybe a profile of the guest lecturer. Then finally, people can go through past events in the gallery and finally contact you. This would show, first of all, this is a platform that relates back to the Facebook and Twitter page, and also potential members can email you and with interest to become part of the club, and current members can email you with questions and other kinds of inquiries.
So moving on, another idea we had was that you would create to gather like the younger users. A lot of members, your members are kind of older, so we thought that they have children or grandchildren that would be interested, that they would want to immerse in the German culture, the German Language Society. So we thought, why not come up with some child-friendly activities that they could do, like board games or card games. And that was a great way to really immerse their kids or grandkids in the culture. These are just some German games that I know growing up in a German household, played a little bit of those. Another idea we had was to integrate a sustainable speaker event with the Harvest game, which is a role-playing game that really promotes sustainability in the German culture.
To conclude with phase 1, we would also like to introduce a monthly event. This event would be All You Need to Know Traveling to Germany. So this is an interactive seminar type event that would give members the opportunity to share their experiences traveling in Germany and also reach out to students who will be studying abroad there. Members from the German embassy can also share information about visa. Members can share the must-dos, must-eats, must-sees, and even provide maybe a point of contact so that members can share their connections and network and make visitors feel at home once they arrive.
So beginning with phase 2, we thought that networking with a university such as GW would be a very beneficial part of integrating the younger audience. So as a member of both the German Club and the executive board, we're constantly trying to find and network with other organizations for other events and other ways to get involved with the German culture. And so we thought that maybe getting involved with the German Club here at GW, GLS would be able to attract more people from the younger audience, college life, and we would be able to have like the experience with another organization within DC. And some examples that we had would be a soccer match. So a lot of the GW students and the German Club students, they enjoy soccer, so that would be a very good way to integrate GLS into GW. Food tasting, I'm pretty sure we all love food, so that'd be also a very good way, and German music, because the cultural importance of music is a very integral part of GLS, and I would believe the German culture as well.
So in addition, we came up with some flyers and advertisements that could be posted on university campuses. As you know, there's a lot of universities in the DMV area, and we thought that flyers, they had a very antique feel to them, so we kind of wanted to spruce them up a little bit, put some color, some bright images, our favorite Angela Merkel. So these are just some ideas that we had, and these can be related directly to your lecture events or to any type of event. If it would be, like Caleb was mentioning, a soccer game, anything, we feel that GW students and students overall really respond well to flyers and advertisements.
So in terms of non-media marketing and student, like more of a grassroots feel and like networking with other students, we thought, just as I mentioned before, having sponsoring an Oktoberfest kind of event on campus, co-sponsored with the German Club, And then we could reach out to German restaurants in the DC area and then have maybe food eating contests, because this would be really fun. That's something that we host at GW, just in general. We can have carnival type activities and maybe even a moon bounce for children just to get them started and more integrated into the German culture. And then because Germany is playing in this year's World Cup, we could easily host a watching party in GW's University Yard, co-sponsored with GLS, maybe provide some snacks, and it would be a very laid-back event for this demographic. And then going into phase 3 and extending the collaborations with universities and schools in the DMV area. I personally am from the DMV area. I have different contacts in these schools, and we've reached out and talked to their German clubs. VT's German club is actually ginormous, and it's actually almost a fraternity. It's like so big and interconnected into the school, and a large of the population, although Virginia Tech is about 6 hours away, a lot of them come from the Northern Virginia area, so I'm sure when they come home they would love to join with the DC clubs and want to get involved with GLS.
And to round off, in phase 4, we would also introduce a monthly Welcome to DC event, and this would be catered towards German expats who visit DC and visitors coming from Germany, and this can utilize all the relationships that we've built since phase 1 with the German clubs from the DMV area, and this would give opportunities for the German club students to share their experiences around DC, and also offer an opportunity for members to interact and to give insights to expats, give them tips and suggestions while they're in the area, and also as a point of contact to really extend your network. So with that, we close. Thank you.
Go ahead, my question.
Well, thank you very much. Very thorough. I think the World Cup idea is a great one, because I know that at the Goethe Institute they do, because that takes place in the summer, it's often very hot. They do have they show the games in their auditorium and the air conditioning, and I think it's very well attended. So I think that's a great idea. It's something that brings lots of people together from various backgrounds, all for one common bit of fun. So I think that's great. And I also like the outreach to children and grandchildren, because it's true, a lot of the, and I know having a couple of my own, a lot of the best games that they have are actually made in Germany. And so I think that's a great segue for some of the older members of our organization to introduce grandchildren and things like that. Yeah.
A question about those games. Are those copyrighted, or can they be played online? Is that what you were thinking, or just make people aware of them?
I was purchasing the board games themselves. They're like an investment. You can have them for a very long time. Kids love to play board games, card games, whatever. And I know the parents will be happy to get them away from electronics for once.
Sure.
Take them away from their phones and iPads, whatever.
So it would be a suggestion more than an online activity on our site.
Yeah, I mean, it'll be more, and then the role play one would be free of cost, and then kind of to get away from maybe the technology, because kids are kind of immersed in it already. It'll be nice just to get back to the traditional way of playing those games, just like we used to play Monopoly.
Mm-hmm.
I have a question, and this is not in any way hostile. Has any of you ever developed a website? And the reason I ask is, how much time does it take?
Well, the site that I used didn't require me to code anything, so that was very easy, because usually if you're making a web page from scratch, it can take up to months. But this is for free, and it took me maybe a couple of hours to put that together. Obviously, if you were to create the actual GLS, it would just take longer because there's more data to put up there, more events, more pictures, but it's very, very self-explanatory. It's called Wix.com, Wix.com.
And in your experience, for an organization of our size, we're not really that big, and as in many volunteer groups, the number who really do some work is pretty small.
Mm-hmm.
How many people would you recommend? Just one being a webmaster?
I would actually recommend, since we are doing a collaboration, that if you were to take on this marketing campaign, I'm sure the German club would be more than happy to maintain the operations, and that's why it's really important to really reach out to the universities in the DMV area, because I'm sure they're always looking for opportunities to get involved, and I'm sure that this will be something that they will take on.
Right, we have many members who are actually just beginning here as freshmen, maybe looking for an internship opportunity or a job opportunity, and so they're always seeking out something to get involved in the German community, and also the experience is really great for people who are just starting here at GW.
Thank you.